me, I bet. Now you can. Bet you can hear me now that I turned the microphone on.
The Hive and the Homestead. What's up? 1919 Farmhouse, Crystal Creek, Oregon. Mary Hurt. Hello, hello.
Let us know if that's too loud, because I just kind of really janked it up there for a second. I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, oh, I forgot the mic.
So you know what my daughter said to me today?
What did your daughter say to you? I love it when you start the sentence as her being yours. That means I'm not in any trouble.
So, we were out just before all of this. It looked like it was going to rain, but it was kind of cool. So I was out there. Hey, Dee. Hey, Mimsy. I was out there kind of pulling weeds. And I was bent over kind of like this. And Ladessa stops me. And she goes, whoa, Mom! And I'm thinking there's like a bug on me or something like that. And she says to me in her sweet little voice, when did you get so much gray in your hair? I was like, baby girl, I love you.
Just keeping it real, Mom. Just keeping it real.
Cracked me up. I was dying. I was like, baby, I've had it for a while. Your daddy swears he can't see it, but now I think he's just telling me a story.
Would I do anything like that?
Yes, you would.
Wanderlust! Woo! I need to talk to you about this weekend coming.
Geeky Gardens, what's up?
Got the sweet tea with some... I didn't put the honey in it.
Again.
I didn't put honey in it tonight.
So pretty.
I put the stevia, the white one.
Yeah, it's perched up right in the tree right there.
Yeah. Okay, put my phone on silent, because I know some of y'all like to play jokesters and try to send me stuff while I'm on live to distract me.
What's up, kitty?
Mama in the house.
Mama, Brenda.
So.
Incense, what's up? Homestead of Walnut Creek. I love that.
I want to talk about something else.
Isn't that... That's our new friends, right? Homestead of Walnut Creek?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I want to talk about something.
I want to talk about something. Let's talk about
and it's very important.
Very important.
Okay? Some of y'all, I am, on my personal page of Facebook, friends with.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all, not going to mention any names, Julie, I have developed a, like Medea says, a root type friendship with. Happy birthday, Tanya.
If you are convertible, I don't know what that means. and
so we pick it and stuff back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And this person is like a little sister to me. I love her to death.
But she scared you.
She didn't really scare me. I was just more concerned that her stuff got hacked.
Mm-hmm.
When you're used to talking to a certain way with somebody, don't all of a sudden get manners. If you're treating me like an older brother or younger brother, and you're always like,
yesterday she was your older sister. Remember that?
Yeah, I know that, and but y'all corrected me, so don't start, Mama, because I'll start talking about you next. And don't all of a sudden, if you're used to going, you know, hey jerk face, how you doing? Checking in on you.
Hello, Seeker.
Don't come to me talking about, hi, Jason, how are you? I'm automatically thinking you've gotten hacked.
Well, the backstory is we did have somebody the week before who was a friend of ours, and she sent a message. Hey, Linda. She sent a message to Jason, and it was like something along the lines of, hey, how are you doing? It was very...
Yeah.
Oh, good call there, buddy. Here, I'll give you my foot. You can put it in your mouth.
Sorry, Tanya.
So, I don't even know where we were going with that. Like, completely quiet now. Yeah, I know you. Yeah. So anyway, Robyn got a new chair, yes. Oh, Facebook hacks, yeah. So a friend of ours a week before had sent Jason a message, and it wasn't her. And it was kind of the same format as the one that he received, so he was kind of already on alert about that.
He was on alert. Thought I was looking out for my younger sister, and then she was like, "Oh, I just can't check in on you now." And then she sent me another message talking about, "Good night, jerk face."
Because you called her out on it, and she's like, well, what do you want me to say? Hey, jerk face? And you're like, yeah, that'll work.
She did 2 days before that. So, I'm going to get a lot of jerk faces messages this week, I can already say, which I look forward to.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, we got about, what?
30 people?
30 people in here. We've been rolling for about 6 minutes. We sent the email list out. How many of you... I want to Mama Grows. How many of you watched the last video?
Hey, Brett.
And seriously?
Piece of Heaven Farmstead. That's a cool name. I like that. Welcome.
Really?
Hey, Laugh with Linda.
Just gonna say hey to Robyn.
Hey, Teresa. Jason, you're my favorite. See, you're her favorite.
How many of you saw the last video with this huge giveaway when we hit 15K, sponsored by Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds? If you've seen it, now my next question is, how many of you are just as excited as we are?
Just Robyn. Just
right.
a guy.
You're just some dude anyway.
That's okay. Better than latrine messages. I mean, at least you're thinking of me. Okay, so quite a few of you got the email.
Quite a few of you.
Everybody's excited.
Watched the video. Now, the next $1 million question is, how many of you actually shared our channel info and said, hey, cool giveaway.
Go ahead. Check it out.
This dude is crazy. He goes after mice.
Hey, Two Family, what's up? Haven't watched the whole video yet. Hi, Amy. I love you.
Touche.
I would, but I don't understand these computer things.
So,
you could have roasted that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
What?
Last night's video.
Oh. Yeah. Anyway, so speaking of that some channel that just wants to talk to you, don't want to talk to me. You know what they're gonna feed us when we go down to their Bayou Bash this year?
Nutria.
No.
No?
Why would you want to eat Nutria? It tastes just like beaver.
I just figured that would segue in. What?
Something from some dude named Dan. It's his booty or something.
Boudin?
Yeah.
Boudin. I don't know. I butchered that, I know. I'm sure there's a rat stew. Alligator. Yeah, I could do some alligator. I've done alligator. I love alligator.
Okay, so what have we had going on? See, really, we were not supposed to be here
Boudin.
tonight. We were supposed to be up in the Appalachian Mountains with this little short dude. He's like as round as he is tall, short, got a real long beard. Got an awesome little girl named Frank. I mean Elin. She's gonna punch me in the throat. But yesterday, did we have a storm come through?
And it was 1 minute, everything was clear and beautiful, and the next minute, the heavens opened up, and all heck was breaking loose.
Yeah, all I can say is there must have been something that happened on the road between our place and Single Dad's last night that Jesus did not want us
on the
anywhere
road.
Near it, because one thing after another happened yesterday that we could not go.
Hey, Outpost, welcome.
And then when we were looking to go today, it was the same thing. And so I finally looked at Robyn and I said, the Lord is telling us to stay home for some reason. And so we ain't go anywhere today.
No, we haven't even left the house. So everybody wants to know about you getting kicked out of Target.
Okay. So, here's my thing. Target.
Target. Now, for the record, first of all, we don't shop very much at Target.
No.
At all. The only reason we do shop is when my job gives me a gift card there as part of an incentive program for a specific product that we sell.
Right.
So that's the only time that we really shop there is when we have gift cards to go there.
Yeah. Because you don't, Target, you guys don't love on people like me. So, and you also kind of, look, if you're going to put hopscotch on the floor, don't get mad when a 45-year-old fat man starts doing hopscotch. Don't get mad and ask him to leave the store. Why you going to put it on the floor if you don't want people to play? I ain't have nothing but time to kill.
Not for going in the ladies' room. I hear they're okay with that. I know, right?
No. For playing hopscotch.
Yep. Hopscotch. Yep. Hey, Brad, what's up?
I don't get it.
Max Happy Homestead, welcome. I know I recognize the name, but I don't think I said it. Freedom Using Farm and Arbor. I like that. Country Homestead Preacher, what's up? So, yeah, so he definitely was...
So now Walmart won't let me go live anywhere in the country from my smartphone. I have to use Robyn's, and they're pretty soon going to block that one, too. And now Target won't let me play hopscotch, even though they got it painted on the floor. And your, what was it, Hobby Lobby that's got the motion lights in the bathroom?
No. Joann's.
Yeah, and Joann's with the motion lights in the bathroom when you're trying to drop a deuce and the lights go out. So I think I'm just going to stay home.
Lowe's. Does Lowe's do that too? Probably. I guess I'm short enough they think I'm a child. I did it. No marine shopping.
Yeah. So.
I don't go to Target anyway. Yeah, Jason has a hard time with... The only reason, and I really probably would, like if somebody would buy a Target card from me, I would probably I've just never really thought to do that. We just don't like that Target's not supportive of Toys for Tots, and that's a marine thing, and so we have a hard time with that. But like I told him, I'm not spending, it's not my money that I'm spending. It's somebody else's money that's already been purchased. So
I may just start giving that away as a gift and just not even go in there anymore. But, so, this week, y'all, I've been trying so hard to feed the spirit and not the flesh.
Yes.
And let me tell y'all something. The Lord has kept me in 2 Timothy
all week. Oh, there you go.
Read it. I read it the first day, and I highlighted some, and underlined a little bit, and I was like, okay, all right.
That's a good idea, Anna. I like that.
The next day, I was like, Lord, what do you want me to read? 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy. I was like...
2 Timothy.
God, what am I supposed to get out of 2 Timothy? And...
Hello, Debbie Jackson.
Yeah, 2 Timothy is full of goodness. But this is the one section in 2 Timothy that he was basically hitting me over the head with a concrete block with that for like the first part of the week. For some reason, I wasn't grabbing it.
You weren't catching it.
Wasn't catching it. But it's in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 23. But avoid foolish and ignorant disputes, knowing that they generate strife. And a servant of the Lord must not quarrel, but be gentle to all. Must be able to teach and be patient in humility in correcting those who are in opposition. If God perhaps will grant them repentance so that they may know the truth and that they may come to their sense and escape the snare of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will. Now, the reason why And it really, either I would have been in like a major case of denial for 44 and a half years. Or I really have, Jeremiah turned me on to let me back up for a second. Jeremiah turned me on to this new podcast. This new church that is in,
it's somewhat
Saluda.
close to us, yeah.
Very
Saluda. Mm-hmm.
And it's Damien Ministries, is because Damien's the guy's name, and so one of the things that he said, you know, and he it's very funny, and if you guys want the link, just shoot me an email. I'll send you a link to this podcast. It is definitely worth listening to. Go at it open-minded and listen. And hey there, neighbor. And so one of the things that he was talking about this week was how some, you know, when we go to, you know, in some churches, when you start talking about one of your what's the word? One of your faults or one of your weaknesses or one of the areas in your life that you need to improve. Something that you know that you have like a bad habit, whether it was like smoking or, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. A sin that you wanted to basically, you wanted to change that habit. You know, and you got a lot of religious institutions that tell you, well, you just got to kill it. You just got to kill it. And we go up there to the altar, we lay it down, and then 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year later, we pick it right back up, and we end on this treadmill. And we're right back there, doing it over and over and over, and it's a constant thing.
Shortcomings, yeah.
And he said one of the things that they're not teaching is that you have to be open to the Lord so that way His love can love it to death. For a lack of I paraphrased it, for a lack of a better definition, basically love your shortcoming to death.
The word you're looking for is vice. Say yes.
Yes.
That's exactly what you're talking about. Your
So,
vices. Mm-hmm.
And so, but one of the things that happens is as you open yourself up completely and you open yourself up to accept the Lord's grace and to accept His love, that He starts to highlight these things. And with me this week, it was about what the scripture that I just read. For the longest time, I never would admit it, but I loved confrontation. I was the type of guy that if I knew I had to talk to you about something, I've already had that conversation like 60 times in my head, and all 60 times they did not go in a positive direction.
And I'll even go one further, to the point where you would encourage me to have confrontations.
Yes. Yes.
If you couldn't be in a confrontation and there was some opportunity in my life to have a confrontation, you would encourage me to have a confrontation.
Yep. And I would kind of push her that way, and then I would be right here behind her saying, say this, do this, do this.
Yep.
But on the flip side of it, I never enjoyed or went looking for a confrontation with you.
No.
I would avoid confrontations with you. I would throw magazines and stuff on the floor just not to
in certain things.
Yeah. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys tonight that I've been working on this week. And
Hey, Lonely Prepper.
what's up, Lonely Prepper? What's the matter?
Nothing.
And it's been very enlightening to see that how I don't need that anymore. It was like a light switch. It was like when I finally opened up about it, where I was like, I live for confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
I live for the fight. I live
Hey, Greener Game.
to get in those battles of wits and battles of words and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I opened up, I admitted that it was like a switch. I had numerous opportunities this week to really fan and feed that part of the flesh with me, and I didn't even give it an appetizer.
But you did recognize each one of those confrontation opportunities. You did. Like, you would be like, you know what? Normally this is something that I would be like all over this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought was cool, was it wasn't like it was completely taken away. It was taken away enough for you to not do it, but to still recognize that it's an opportunity that you passed up. So
I just feel really good about that, and I'm at peace with it, and I really wanted to share that with you guys.
Is that why pool has been slow, brother?
Is that why what?
Is that why your pool game back
Yes.
and forth? Yep.
Yes.
Except for the rat. Yeah, so let's talk about
No. Hold on. Time out. First things first. Robyn got a new chair.
Yes.
This is a gift. This was a gift from one of y'all to Robyn. And
She didn't tell us whether she wanted us to tell anybody, so
yeah, so we're not gonna share it until
she says it's okay.
she says it, or this person says it's okay.
She says it's okay. There's a lot of she's in here. It's okay.
So we just want to say thank you.
It's okay. There you go. Linda.
Miss Linda Reiner sent this chair to Robyn.
Mm-hmm.
And we thank you so much.
Your seed packet stuff is going in the mail Monday morning.
Yep.
So it was very nice of her.
It's very nice of her, but now Robyn's out here all the time, which is a good thing.
It was really funny because, Linda, we were, just so that you know, we were, normally Jason wants me to come out here and help him with videos, or when we do our budget meeting, or we do anything, he always wants it to be out here. And the chairs I've had before, I just get so uncomfortable that, like, after 5 minutes or so, I'm like, I can't do this. This is not good. Well, the really cool thing about this chair is it leans, like, I can lean this thing all the way back to lay, and it has a footrest. So I was in here kicked back, my feet up, helping him with everything, and he looked over at me and he's like, are you comfortable enough? I'm like, I am, but I'm still out here helping you. And he's like, thank you, Linda.
Major
so just
help.
so you know.
So, Linda, from me, thank you so much. We got a
Riding
lot.
with Kim and Howard. Hey, what's up?
What's up?
City Stead. Hello, hello.
What's up, City Stead?
Hey, are you wearing your skirt?
No.
Nope, not wearing the skirt.
Not
He's
wearing
probably
my-
going to put it on when we go to Walmart, though. Overlook Valley. What's up?
Overlook?
Ah, look at that. Our sorghum friends. Wakatamika, I think, is right.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened last night. Facebook Live. If you're not part of the Big Bear Nation on Facebook,
You need to be.
Kitty will
You missed
probably
it.
throw that link up there here in a second.
I have a new way of putting else now.
And you'll never, I'll put it to you this way. If I'm fixing to do something that maybe shady via YouTube.
Maybe shady.
I'll do it live on Facebook. Now, when I mean shady, YouTube
gets crazy with stuff.
Oh, kind of a little bit over the top. Well, last night we were invaded.
Yep.
And we weren't just invaded. We had a home invasion last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't your typical...
Had to protect the house.
Home invasion. We had... How would I say it? Master Splinter thought that because he was some type of ninja rat, could just walk up in my house, pick a fight with my dog.
Apollo the hero, Roddy.
and he thought he could take a slice of my cheesecake. Now, if you're new to the Big Bear Homestead, let me tell you something. There's a couple of things in this world.
Those pants, though. I made those pants.
Will get you stabbed.
Don't touch Jason's cheesecake.
It's my cheesecake.
Hey, KJ Crimson.
So, last night, because of the storms, in all seriousness, because of the storms, see, on either side of my homestead, I have a homestead that's been abandoned, but the family won't sell it.
Right.
On this side, on the other side of me, I have a homestead that he leases the land out to different farms, but sometimes they'll plant stuff, sometimes they won't.
Mm-hmm.
This year,
they did.
They planted soybeans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But last night, it was a super heavy storm. We had flash flooding. So when we get the flash flooding from the house that's over there and that old barn, because they're kind of at the beginning of the low point, the water comes rushing down through there, they beat feet and start coming this way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, almost guaranteed, at least once a year, we will get one or two rats they will hit the crawl space and they will come up by where the dryer is, because of the way that they got the dryer vent run. It's just a horse of a different color, and then as soon as I can afford to fix that, tear down that one room and redo it, it's going to get fixed. Well, they just come right up the dryer vent.
Where'd you get those pepper pants? I made them. I sewed them.
And so Carol it was her turn to be in charge of laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And
she opened up the door.
The laundry room.
And the other thing is, tell everybody, that part of the house is actually it was like the external part of the house, and they just built it up and made the laundry room in the back part. So it's not really finished in like the rest of the house. So it's totally separate. And like he was saying, there's holes by some of the, like where the vent comes in, where the water heater, all that kind of stuff. So she opens up the door.
And all I hear is, "Oh, that's a big rat!" And I said, "What?"
And she just kept
and she just kept walking. I was like, "Hello?
Did you just say rat?"
Did you say big rat? She's like, "Yes, sir." "Which way did it go, my beautiful daughter?" "Oh, it's right under there." Seriously?
In the house. It's now not in just that, because the door to the living room from the laundry room is secure, so it can't get up underneath there. Mm-hmm. So it had to come from when she opened the door, and he took off and went in. So that's the thing, is like, it took off and she's like, "Oh, it went right over there." So it went back by where the books and everything
And so
were.
we started shining lights looking for it. Well, Splinter didn't want to have anything to do with that. And so he darted into the living room. And then
it was on.
It was on. Apollo was like, "Dun, dun, dun." hold on. I just got rid of a little white fur ball. Ain't no more fur balls coming in
my
here.
house.
And like in 2 lunges, whoosh. Apollo up over the couch, cuts a flip, lands down, and Apollo and the mouse, or the rat, started kung fu fighting. They were waxing on and waxing off and
and he takes out there was a glass of ice water right there, so that goes flying everywhere. They're
Which made the tile floor slippery like owl snot. And so Apollo is like he's on a treadmill trying to chase the rat because he can't get any traction on the wet tile. He ain't even moving an inch. Tongue hanging out because he's tired from trying to run so far. The rat comes back around and Apollo grabs him. Woo! Big bad Apollo, 150 pounds, a Rottweiler that so much as anybody steps foot in the driveway, he sounds like he's gonna rip your face off. Hair standing all up, he's bowing all over, gnawing at the doorknob, grabs the rat. The rat went, ee! Apollo went, puh! What was that noise?
He made a noise and Apollo's like, no! He backed away. Gizmo's outside now. He's patrolling around the
Apollo
farm.
started backing up like, wait a minute, you ain't supposed to be a squeaky toy. And I'm like, Apollo, get him.
Well,
get him.
And then in the meantime, he gets behind the couch. So now I'm up. I'm free because I've got my feet up.
Now look,
and I'm like, he's
all
gonna get in the
night
couch.
long, Robyn got bit by some fire ants. All night long, we were hearing about how her foot and ankle hurt, and the fire ant, she got,
and my knee,
she got tore up. I mean, it swole her up pretty good.
I've got a bruise.
But she was talking about how it was even hurting all the way up in her knee. That rat made half a step. He was like, who going behind the couch? She must have had some telepathic connection to said rat that knew that he was going behind the couch. Because I'm not making this up. Robyn, from a almost laying position.
Yeah, because I had my leg up, propped up for my knee.
Was up. 2 front flips in the air. Landed. Legs still straight out. So that way she was supporting the knee.
You're so bad.
And
I
she was
jump
like,
up quick.
Ah!
I was like, oh, no. I'm not doing this.
She started speaking Latin. Latin's been a dead language for how many years? She went straight back to Catholic school. She started fussing at me in Latin, and I'm looking at her going, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so we pull the couch out. Dun, dun, dun. Big Apollo. Boom. The rat grabs Apollo by the face. I didn't make that up in the video.
This part he did not make up.
Grabs Apollo by the face. They're 2 eyes to 1 eye. They're looking at each other. And Apollo's doing this number, and the rat was like, what's his name from 8 Seconds, the movie?
Luke Bear.
Yeah, he was like Luke Bear. Woo! Woo! Trying to hold on for 8 seconds. Apollo finally
spins him
off. Apollo's looking at me like, where were you at, man? And the rat takes off, boom, underneath the bookcase. So I said, you know what?
So now he's in the corner. He's cornered now.
He's over there. We can't get to him. It's longer than anybody's arm. We were trying to slip T-Rexes under there, but couldn't get them close enough.
Well, at one point, he climbed up the side of the wall and was up underneath Ladessa's step stool. And so they saw that, and Jason said, get one of the rat traps and just grab his tail.
Yeah. So
they were trying that, and that wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, they took off, and he went behind the DVDs. Then he got up and was up underneath, in between the books. And so he was back behind the books.
Yeah. And so I said, I had enough. I went into my bedroom and I got my dragon katana. Shoo! Got my samurai sword. Once you release the blade of the samurai sword, you have to
use it.
It has to get blood on it, or it's super bad luck. And so I come out with my sword, right? Mm-hmm. Rat sees me with said sword. Rat does a full 3 flips comes out from behind the bookcase. He's got two tiny little rat swords in his hand. And so we're going at it. Ching, 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 ching. Right? And so, bow. We got it. And I started doing the circle thing like Lancelot does. Woo, man. And his sword went over to the side. Well, he ducks back up underneath the bookcase. My kids were like, I didn't know Daddy had those sword skills. Looking at me like, oh. So he's ducked. He goes behind the head. He like tries to climb into the Harry Potter book like he was Wormtail or something. And so we started moving the stuff out of the way. Boom, boom, boom. And then he was just kind of like hanging on there like like he was a Navy SEAL or something like, you can't see me.
He was touching the wall.
Yeah. Touching the wall. Can't see me.
I can't see me.
He literally looked at me and went like this. And he got ducked down behind Blaze's favorite book, Breaking Dawn, the sparkly vampire book.
Yep.
I made the comment, I'm just going to run him through the book. You thought, in my house, thought that I just said I was going to kill the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
People in my house lost their mind. Every person in my house went from focusing on a rat to, whoa, no, don't touch that book.
No. Yeah, and Princess Bride. Don't mess with Princess Bride either. Mm-hmm.
And so I tap the book, and he comes up just a little bit. And then it was ominous, dominus. Thrust!
Right through.
And I went through him, and the rat went, ugh!
You heard it. So, everybody's asking, did you film this? So, we didn't film the first part of it because, to be quite honest, I was in no way able to film when that first part was going on. It was nuts because it was just like everything was just going way too fast. But then when we got him back into the corner, Jason's like, grab your phone. So we went ahead and went on Facebook Live. So if you haven't seen that video, go on to the Big Bear Nation and it should still be up there. Nobody's reported it or anything yet, so it's up there. Now of course Jason likes to embellish just for the humor that it is. It was really funny, but the actual video is pretty funny too. But yeah, and I have to give Suburban credit because we were right in the middle of all this and everything going on, and then she just put in the comments, you just killed Master Splinter, and we all just lost it. So anyway, it was really funny. We had a really good time filming it and took him outside and disposed of him. And no signs of anything else. Pretty
much when I ran him through, I knew I killed him.
Brenda said if I disappear, it's because my family had me committed from all this laughing.
Because I made a good shot right there behind his shoulder where I broke his back a little. Probably broke his back, but I knew I got a vital organ. Mm-hmm. And so when I pulled him out, he was still doing that nerve twitchy thing. Robyn thought he was doing the kid and play or something. I don't know.
He was still looking at me, so I'm just saying.
And
if I get a rat, you have to come kill it. So yeah. So that was our entertainment last night.
It was good to go.
Yeah. So yeah. Never to hurt anything though. Rodent of unusual size. So somebody asked about the wall. We're planning on fixing that anyway, so we weren't really worried about it. Outpost says, I'm planning on starting a homestead in a few years. I don't think cows would be the best to start with. Any livestock suggestions? I was thinking pigs.
I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'm gonna answer that.
So, first of all, I guess I would say how much land.
Hold on, time out. I'm going to take a few minutes. I want everybody to type in what they think Robyn's livestock suggestion is going to be. The winner will get some seeds from Baker Creek. When you see it, you tell me who it was.
I already saw it.
Who was it?
Right there, two family.
Yeah. Two family, one.
Camels. Okay, so what I would say first and foremost is how much land are you planning on having? Because if you're not planning on having more than 5 acres, you kind of have to scale that down. You could do a cow, but you have to really be moving that cow a lot. Same thing with pigs. And
supplementing it with feed and...
Right, same thing with pigs. And I say that from experience because we've done pigs before. If you were going to do one pig, I think it would be okay if you bought a wiener pig in the spring and raised it through the summer into the fall and then butchered it each fall. Okay, so 10 to 15. So what I would start with is I would start with poultry. I would do chickens or turkeys. Chickens, the thing with chickens are, everybody does chickens. So I feel like if you start with something like a turkey and you master that, you can do anything. Because if you can keep a turkey alive, you can pretty much keep anything alive. So turkeys, then chickens, somewhere in there is some poultry of some sort. Quail are super easy to do. They don't take a lot of space. So I would start with something like that. Then I would baby step it up to like a wiener pig just for the season to see if you can keep that going. Because the thing with pigs is they can get messy. They are extremely intelligent. So if they find a way out, I don't care how many times you try to fix that, they're going to keep going to that same spot until it's like Fort Knox. So, that's the thing with pigs is I would start with something smaller before you get into pigs and then cows. And actually cows are easier to take care of than pigs in my opinion. Unless you have a 6-foot cow that likes to jump fences to go get bread. And that can be fun too.
Mine would not be turkeys. And the reason being is because of how finicky they are. Just getting started out, I don't want to see you get frustrated. And because turkeys are kind of just, they're like the suicidal fowl.
Especially when they're young.
I mean, you look at a turkey wrong and he's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. They're always looking for a new way to die.
See, that's my whole point.
But folks can get frustrated and walk away from it.
But that's why you have a community like this.
I'm going to DDT you. I was nice. I didn't interrupt you. Now, I would agree to...
chickens.
Quail.
Quail.
And the reason why I would agree that maybe quail might be something that you would want to start out with is because quail are pretty hardy. It takes a lot to kill them. And they're such a fast turnaround. Mm-hmm. They're super easy. And
if you do Caturnix. Because Bob Whites are not as fast. Just saying.
But you said in the chat that you have 10 to 15 acres. So I would maybe venture out, and my question to you would be: is your 10 to 15 acres, is it all pasture, or do you have some wooded area that you want to clean up? If you have some wooded area that you want to clean up, then I would get a couple of pigs and let them clean that area up for you, because pigs will eat everything. Poison ivy, poison oak, they don't even care. It doesn't even bother them. And they can really clean up a lot of underbrush and stuff for you. And pigs are relatively easy. You make sure that they have food, make sure that they have water, make sure that they stay cool, and they pretty much take care of themselves. Down here in the south, I make sure mine always have some type of a wallow pit that they can get in and wallow around in to keep cool, because pigs don't sweat. That's how they regulate their body temperature, and they will sunburn, so they need to get in that mud to coat their body, so that way they do not get sunburn.
And they don't have sweat glands. So, okay, so everybody wants to know. Well, everybody wants to know what a wiener pig is, and like JJL Ford said, do not look it up on Google. That's a story for another time. Anyway, so basically what a wiener pig is, and it's spelled Weaner, and by spelling it, I'm sure you've already probably figured it out. A wiener pig is a pig that is born, and then they wean it off 6 to 8 weeks, and you usually can buy them super cheap. $25, $35, $50 at the most, usually. And once they're finished with the mother, then you can take that pig and raise it for your own. And that's usually a really good way to get started with doing pigs, because you can take it and feed it and grow it up all summer, because the weather's good by then. Usually most people will have their pigs, their wiener pigs will be available like March, April. And then you take those pigs and raise them up, fatten them up all summer, and then in the fall, they're typically between 250, 300 pounds, depending on how heavy you're feeding them. And then you can go ahead and have them processed once it gets cold. So
the Irish call the pig the gentleman who pays the rent, because not only will he fill your freezer full of wonderful bacon and pork chops and a Christmas ham and some Boston butts for the 4th of July the following year, all these wonderful things, he'll also do a lot of work for you.
Absolutely.
I know if Joe Salatin, for example, if his pond starts to spring a little bit of a leak, he'll let his pigs down in there, because they'll root up, wallow around, and they end up patching that hole. They're definitely, they clear out an area quick, and it doesn't matter if it's a Yorkshire or American Guinea Hog or Red Waddler, any of those. We've got some videos up that you can go check out. It's when we were doing a review for the Premier One hog fencing.
And you can also look on Instagram. We have a couple pictures of them clearing stuff out.
And see the before, and then what they did in 7 days.
There's one, it's like 3 days with the ivy. It was literally like 3 days. It was crazy.
And they ate that ivy up. And to the point where it's not growing back, which was great for us, because we were trying. I was really starting to sweat that area, because I knew I wanted to get the ivy out of there. All right, so what am I going to do to clean this area up?
And really, if you look on Instagram, you'll see it. It's literally like they're side by side, and you can see like in 3 days they've completely obliterated that area, and it's just now starting to grow back in little patches, so it's almost time to turn them back loose in there. So growing up on a farm, why was the pig pen the one area I wasn't allowed to go? Dangerous. Can be.
Well, it really depends. Was there a boar pig in there?
Or it could have been that you had mama and babies.
There's lots of...
There's a lot of... They can be very dangerous if you're not careful.
Yeah.
We don't... I mean, just to give you an example, we don't let our kids go inside the pig pen. Especially right now because there are 13 babies in there with 2 mamas. And it's where they hid the bodies. Yeah. So, so we don't let ours in there unattended. Like, if we're out there and we need them to go grab something real quick, there's more eyes paying attention to everything so that they're safe. But we don't let them just, when they're doing chores, they're not allowed to go over that fence into that pig pen by themselves. It's not happening.
Because you never know when a pig can be moody and...
Well, and the other thing, too, is, how about not even that? There was a time our pigs were outside foraging in the cow pasture. And Blaze went out there to go check. There was some ruckus going on from the donkey. So he went out there to check, and our one male loved to be scratched like a dog. And so Blaze came up, and he was excited to see Blaze, and Blaze used to scratch him through the fence. Well, he came up to Blaze, and Blaze wasn't scratching him, and so he bumped Blaze. Blaze went to scratch him, and he flopped over and fell literally on Blaze. Blaze was out there by himself, and about that time, it was just one of those things. Jason and I are like, it's taking him a little bit longer than it should have to come back here to tell us what's going on. And about that time, we were getting ready to go out to go look for him, and he comes walking in, and he has, from here to about his knees, covered in mud. And we're like, what happened? Like, the rest of you is completely clean. Why do you have this big patch? And he's like, Henry fell on me, and he decided he didn't want to get up. And he said I had to punch him in the junk to get him to get up off of me. So sometimes it could just be their sheer size. Like, they can be 200, 300, 400 pounds. They can be dangerous that way and not even intend to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. Blaze was fortunate that it had been raining, so the ground was forgiving for him. So he was, he wasn't crushed or anything, but it did hurt. He was like, I could barely breathe for a second there. He said I had to punch him in the junk to get him to get up. So anyway.
Okay, so it's getting to be about time that we need to kind of wind it up a little bit. The next time that you guys will be able to see us out, Homesteaders of America Conference is right around the corner.
Yeah.
That's about what?
Month and a half
away.
Mm-hmm.
I will be doing a hands-on workshop class at the Homesteaders of America the Thursday before on predator control.
Yep.
In this class, you will learn everything you need to know on how to protect your livestock from predators, all the way from mice and rats, all the way up to the big bad bears and cougars and jaguars.
Where's the conference? Conference is in Front Royal, Virginia, at the fairgrounds. Somebody asked, do we butcher our own meat? Yes. Not a cow yet, because we're not quite...
I don't have the beams strong enough to hold the cow
equipped for that, but we do the other thing. Will you offer proper sport versus rat techniques? We'll teach you how to get rid of a rat.
Yeah.
What time and when does it start?
You'll have to go to the Homesteaders of America conference website, go to hands-on classes, and the price for the class is there, and class times and everything like that. We will also be at the HOA. We will have a booth out there, and we'll be doing some demonstrations. We'll be kind of scratching the surface then. We will not be going into this huge details like we were in the class. And then that's pretty much it for the year. We're going to be homebound here.
Yes, we do raise grass-fed beef. Somebody said, when will the next Georgia meetup be?
I'm glad you asked. Memorial Day weekend.
We're planning already.
Right. We're already in the planning process of it. We're calling it the Big Bear Powwow. And we will probably make an Eventbrite page for it. So that way you guys can start to sign up for that. We got a lot of things already in the works for that. One of the things that, and we have a meeting with somebody tomorrow. And if this gets pulled, if we're able to do this, our get together, whatever you want to call it, conference, whatever you want to call it, it will be, well, I mean, I don't know what you want to call it.
I thought we were going in a powwow.
Powwow, yeah, powwow. Well, I mean, other people call it.
Whatever. Anyway.
The powwow. It will be the only one that does something like this. I'm just going to leave it at that. Somebody asked, when did I
get a passion for predator control?
Let's see. I was probably knee-high to a grasshopper. And at that particular point in time in my life, from the time that I was basically born until the age of like 8 or 9, my only positive male role model was my papa, my grandfather. And I was with him every weekend. He's the one who got me passionate about gardening, beekeeping, hunting, fishing, trapping. And I used to go with him. Mm-hmm. I think I was 5 or 6. We built my first box trap for rabbits. I used to catch rabbits that way. And it just progressed into this, and it became...
Bye, grass-fed.
It became a way of life, pretty much. I ran a nuisance wildlife removal business in Augusta for a very long time. Was the most requested nuisance wildlife business pretty much on that part of the state. I am still considered one of the top nuisance wildlife removal experts in the state of Georgia. So, and it kind of grew, and my education grew, and my experience grew. What's so funny?
Poop.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was asking about when the next shindig is. They haven't done that yet. Yeah. I don't do meetups. People cancel it. Look, we are on the calendar for not next weekend, but the weekend after that. So you better show up. Just saying. Maybe I thought about you the other day. I rode past Papa Do's, and I thought about you. Just so you know.
What's up, poor boy?
Papa Do. That's still too far. I'm 15 minutes east of St. Louis. You don't hardly have any free time. That's okay.
Well, if you're near St. Louis,
poor boy, what's up?
The shindig will probably be the one that you need to go to. And as soon as VW Family Farms post that, when that weekend's going to be and how it's going to go about, everybody's going to be you'll dedefinitely hear about it.
Mm-hmm. Our anniversary is around Memorial Day. Well, then you can come down and celebrate.
Come on and celebrate it.
Yep. So we're going to be putting all the logistics together, figure out how many people we need, we're going to have, and start figuring that out. September 7th for you to meet sub? Yes, I think so. Yes. I think whatever that Saturday is. Not the Saturday before Labor Day, but the following Saturday.
Yeah. And look, the Big Bear Powwow is more of a kind of let's get together, kind of hang out. As of right now, we don't plan on having any speakers or doing any teaching. I may throw a predator control class out there. I know Josh, JJL Forge, will be there. He may fire up the forge that we gave him, and he may do a little class or a little something with that.
No pain from the wreck. I'm completely healed from that. I say completely healed. I still have some issues up here, but that's slowly going away. I had one thing that reared its ugly head this past week that I was not aware that was bothering me. We were watching Fireproof, and the scene where the fire truck comes and they're getting the girl out of the car. You start hearing the fire truck and you see the fire truck roll up. That kind of messed with me for a little bit. And then a couple days later, I was riding down the road and there was a fire truck coming. And as it got closer and louder, kind of messed with my head. But it's not enough that I can't, like, acknowledge it and say, okay, you need to chill out. You're okay. Everything's fine. So all that to say, there's still a couple of little things, but nothing that I can't. It's not irrational. Mm-hmm. It's just stuff that I got to work through. So
I guess I have to call my runner-up blacksmith friend then.
What did he say? He's not coming? Can't do that weekend. Have a reoccurring commitment. Oh, well.
I have to call that real bladesmith I was talking to at the...
You're a butt face. Nice new chair, Robyn. Thank you. Linda Renner gave it to me. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'll tell you, it's funny. Everybody says PTSD. Because of having dealt with PTSD with Jason, I don't even feel like it's warranted to be called that. But yeah, I definitely have a couple of things I'm still working on. So.
All right. So now the next thing that I want to talk about. This is the last Saturday of the month, and as you can tell, Robyn and I are sporting swag from different things. Mm-hmm. I got my Baker Creek hat on and my Mountain Life Montana t-shirt on. Mm-hmm. Robyn.
It is for us. Hush. The 31st is. The second to last. We're going to start doing it the last Saturday of the month.
You told me that this was the
last. I thought it was too. I thought 31st was Friday. I was wrong. So, we'll start doing it the last Saturday of the month.
Anyway,
just so everybody knows.
The last Saturday of the month, we are going to be wearing other people's stuff. Robyn's got on the Homesteaders of America t-shirt. I got on my Mountain Life Montana t-shirt and my Baker Creek hat.
Blame it on Robyn. She was in an accident.
If you want us to put your channel stuff on or your business's stuff, if your business has a t-shirt, if your business has a ball cap, anything like that, something that we can wear on our last Saturday of the month, send it to us and I'll wear it. And so,
will you wear anything that's sent with the logo?
As long as it's family friendly. Don't send me something crazy.
No G-strings. Alright, so it is now 9 o'clock. Everybody head on over to Green Dream Project.
See, y'all getting crazy already. So, thank you guys for coming by. We got really close. We got up to like 70 something tonight. If you guys want us to do this, to give a couple of these away, we got to break 100. So, make sure next week, tell a friend, tell a family member, whatever. And don't forget, share our information. As soon as we hit 15K, we have a big giveaway.
Yep.
So,
Scotty might know. Thanks for coming by. Make sure you drop by next Saturday.
You guys, from Robyn and myself, we want you to remember to plant smiles,
grow giggles,
and harvest the love. Be kind to one another. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. Thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.